Hi. Oh, here we go. 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 Hello. Hi. This is Gabby. Welcome back to the channel. um, I'm Gabby, interior designer, and you are watching Gabby Reviews Live. And what I'm doing is reviewing different TV shows. This time I'm doing Made by Design on Netflix, and it is a series about African architects, interior designers, and creators. And it just talks about their business, about how they came to be, how they've grown. And this time we're going to focus on episode 2, where we talk about the beach queen. Excuse me, beach house queen. I just double checked it. So I really want to know what this one is about because um, beach house design is very popular. I think everybody can appreciate it. And I want to see what she's been doing. While we do that, I am still putting together, if you do not know, my spices. I got sick of my spice cabinet over the weekend. My husband takes stuff and things get thrown in the cabinet. I'm tired of it. So I bought this spice rack, this handy dandy 4-tier spice rack. And it came with these jars that has all the pieces in it. They have all been cleaned and they're ready to go. And I am filling them up. I have these stickers that you can put on, and then these are pre-labeled, and then they have some at the end that are blank, and you can add your own label to them. They give you a little pin that you can do, and then I forgot to tell you last time, with this spice rack, you can sit it down or you can adhere it to the wall. It comes with the nails that you can use to put it inside the wall. But that is what I'm doing now. You guys can join me while I do that and live react to this episode because I'm really excited. Also, if you want to get a spice rack of your own, I'll put the link inside of the bio so you can click on that and get started. So, without further ado, let's watch episode 2 with the Beach House Queen. Here we go. And so far, I'm liking what I see. And she got some cute little style too that I like. Oh, this gonna be bomb. This is fun. Very light, very sandy. Teak.
Design is life, design is color, design is
Ooh,
design
color. I
is
love
experience.
color. I do. I love color. I love color and design. Oh, I wish we'd use more color and
Apart from
design.
handling the external design, we're also very involved in interior architecture. As can be seen in most of our beach houses, we're involved in the selection of all the furnishing, we're involved in selection of the finishing, lighting, and soft furnishing.
Okay, so she is an architect, but her company is involved in the interior architecture as well. I don't know how far that involvement goes, but
And
she's
because
involved.
we're able to control that entire process, we're able to fully curate the experience of the house.
Yes, full curation of an experience. More, please. More, please, of full curation. Because too many people. Oh, y'all gotta watch this. Y'all gotta see this. This is bomb.
So this house is called Aquilina, and this house was designed in 2016. It was finished in 2017, and we just
2016.
had some. The floor was redone again this year, 2020. The client for this house
So they took
asked
the
that
video of this in
we provide
2020.
him with a bungalow style building. He wanted 3 bedrooms. There was a strong emphasis on the pool, framing. And I think what we were very successful in doing is creating moments of framing in this house. It's all white. These are his colors, which is a nice play. We've used wood finishing materials. We've got a play of white with wood, and it's a very calming ambient space. Come take a look. What we have here is a really nice, beautiful neutral palette of off-white, white.
So monochromatic whites in this
Really nice
beach house.
effect. You've got a really lovely seater set here.
Not enough color for me personally, but the effect is still beautiful.
Able to expand, take more people. The client is very particular about food
with natural plants.
For friends. And it was really important to him to create a house that allows him to be able to do this activity with everyone around him, which you can see in the barbecue area, which is at the hub of the outdoor space.
Oh wow! They made the barbecue the central space, the focal point for the space.
Really nice, calming space with a lot of lights.
I don't think she wanted to just leave it white. I think it's too white for her. But it's a beautiful space.
And in particular, when you're working at the beach, the important emphasis is the environment.
I want more color.
I think it's great. We're very successful in doing that here.
I see it, and I'm just like, throw some color in there.
So we're gonna go outside now.
It looks great, but I'm like, color.
So, like I mentioned, the barbecue area is in the house. You've got seating here, so when he's entertaining his friends.
So he's entertaining outside. There's a pool outside.
Have a really nice experience. He's talking to people. We've got the beautiful pool.
It looks like it's surrounded by
the Atlantic Ocean. We've got this beautiful
like teak
stone steps, to kind of tread across from either end. And the shallow bit here is great for having lounges in the water, so you're not really swimming, but you are wet. And then we've got 3 bedrooms, 2 overlooking the pool, and the last bedroom at the end, which is the owner's room, and he's got a special view to the ocean. And then we have another little secret, which I think is also nice.
They have a secret in the house. Ooh, look at that.
So we've got this additional kind of outdoor seating space where you have beautiful frames.
Oh, there's a beautiful sunroof with like a special seating area. These kind of like rounded, almost egg-like outdoor seats with a table.
But I think a great
with a round skylight.
Is thinking about the experience. It's not just about creating buildings or rooms, but what aura do you create? What aura do people who visit your space?
Creating an experience. You guys heard that? That's what it's about. It's not just about individual pieces. It's not just about,
I think that's the sign of,
what looks great and what, how luxe it feels. And
I am an architect in Lagos, Nigeria, and I run an architectural practice.
It's just so much about, it's so much more. The experience is everything.
Called which means House of Lions in Yoruba, and we specialize in the design and manufacture of accent chairs using local fabrics, and that's what I'm sitting on here.
No, so she does accent chairs too.
So upbringing, I went to secondary school in Nigeria. I went to Queen's College, Yaba, so I'm ex-QC girl.
So she's in Lagos, Nigeria, and then she grew up in Nigeria too.
College. Then I went on to university for my first degree in architecture at Kingston University. And then I took a spell out of architecture and I went and did a master's in urban design at the Bartlett University College London. And then
she went to school in London.
And then I came back into architecture to do the part 2, and I finished at the Architecture Association. So that's education. Work-wise, I worked in London for a short period. Then I moved over to Rotterdam, and I worked at the Office of Metropolitan Architecture, whose principal is Robert Koolhaus, and that was a pretty big deal. When I moved back to Nigeria, I worked at a firm called James Cuba Architects. Then I set up my office in 2012 because I was a very creative child.
Went to school in London, moved back to Nigeria, and began her practice in 2012.
The plans, I wanted to go to site, I had a good understanding of space, so it was an
Mm.
obvious kind of transition. Creative child,
Space, understanding
understanding
space
space
can be
gets closer
challenging
to
for
then
some
go and study
people, and
architecture.
even professionals. Everybody doesn't have
So as an architect, I mean,
that good perception of
it's very
space,
interesting when you're
and
working
that's
for
what
other
you
people
use
because
computer
you're
programs for,
designing
and
or you're always focusing on the language or
you
consistency of that
know,
office. But when you
concept
become a
or
practitioner yourself, you have the opportunity to
your
create your own
design
brand in
development,
terms
so
of
you
your
can understand
style.
that
I've
space.
created a language in the office which we will share now. I would like to consider it Afro
Wow.
minimalism. So it's very clean, plainer lines, but
So she
also very
considers
conscious.
herself an
When I
Afro
say
minimalist.
African, I'm very conscious of how we use space. And I think that's very particular about when you're creating buildings for a set of people. You really have to understand how people use the space and you tailor it accordingly. But the physical manifestation of our style is very minimal.
So physically, what she was
My
saying was the
background is
style is
materials
minimal,
from
but how the
modernism,
space is
and
used
modernism is the
determines
start
how she
of
adds
minimalism.
extra pieces,
Modernism
and
was
that's
good when
based
it
in
came
African or
about
Nigerian
before and after the
um,
Second World War. It was a period in
ideals.
human history where we started to go into this system of manufacturing, things being produced en mass. There was a change in terms of what was considered strong aesthetics, in design. There was a
Architecture is
movement away
ridiculous.
from ornamentation into mass production and materials being true to their form and use. This didn't
Yes.
exist prior to the Second World War or prior to the First World War. So there was a general movement in terms of socioeconomic politics in general. And modernism actually was a manifestation of it in its physicality. Now,
So
this where I went to
discussing
school, there was a
modernism.
big push in terms of modernism and understanding those principles and the practicality of creating spaces based on planar materials and form. And that's a language that I've carried out in my work. So taking that understanding and then tying it to my culture, where I come from, I've been able to kind of successfully fuse the two.
So I mean, this is really her work is really a mixture of a design style that most people gravitate towards, which is modernism, and her love of modernism, and then infusing that with her culture, which is Nigerian. And the outcome is still minimalist and modern forms. Oh gosh,
I think, to be honest, I believe
her
architecture
work is just
should be
amazing.
celebrated as a lifestyle. It's not. I
And
go
she's
to
an
work and I
architect, so
think
she
one way and I come
focuses
home and I'm the
on the
other. Even
structure of the
my
building.
personal
She's
style,
not
how I dress, I'm very
interiors,
plain. I'm
but
very minimal. I
still.
do not like florals except on scarves. I don't think clothes should have florals. But that's just me. I believe in strong use of color. I think color is such a powerful element and it can
She
completely
uses
change
color
the
a lot,
feel
and
of
I
a space
love that.
just from just changing the color. You can imagine if you go into a room and everything is yellow, everything is pink, or everything is white. You haven't had to do anything terribly complicated. You've used the simplicity of color to create a completely different feeling. And I think that can be quite powerful.
She
I think
uses
I
color in
embody
an interesting way. For
my
her,
architecture in
the
my
color
personal
is
lifestyle.
changing
And I
it
think that's the
so
reason
that
why
it
I'm
becomes
able to be
more than what it
consistent with those
is.
things because it's not a stop and start. It's a holistic approach. So my very first project as an office in Nigeria was a cafe nail store that was on the third floor in Dream Plaza in Victoria Island. And I remember the two clients, brothers, Ngozi and Chijoke Dozie, they came to me and they said, oh, they've got this idea of a coffee shop and they don't have any branding. They have a logo, but there's no theme behind it. All they know is that they want it to be young, hip, and it should be for um, a young Nigerian, somebody who has a bit of understanding of coffee and is exposed and, somebody that could eventually tie in with the culture. And so the first store, we were able to create for them like a language, a look and feel. So the color scheme, the materials that we used, and that was then what set the precedence for all the stores that came after it. It was a really interesting and exciting project because there was nothing to start with. It was literally a logo and the fact that the logo represented a coffee brand. And we were able to create something very unique, very
So with
authentic,
the
very
first
African,
project, all
very.
she had was
So
a
we did
logo to
loads of
go off
cafe
of,
nails.
and
We
she
did one in
created a
Diamond
whole
Bank in Lekki that's still
experience
there.
in
We've
this
done that as
space. Like, you
well.
need to see it.
Gosh, we did about 4 or 5 actually cafe nail stores. We were really
Cafe
intimate
Neo.
with them. They were very good And they gave us a lot of exposure, which is nice. And when we did the first set of cafe news, it was different. Nobody had done anything like that. You know, they really were the first people to do a proper coffee shop in Nigeria generally, and a lot of people took that as a reference moving forward. For example, with the cafe near stores, I'm a big lover of coffee, and I think it helps to have an understanding and exposure when you're designing. I always like
This
to
is
tell
her
people
first set
that
of
if you
real
haven't eaten a
projects that she's
strawberry,
talking
you
about.
cannot dream and taste a strawberry in your sleep. And this is for all forms of design. You know, if you don't enjoy shopping, you can't know how to design a shopping space. If you don't enjoy going to the beach, you can't know how to design a property that will be appropriate and be great fun in. You know, so experience plays a massive role in how you will translate into space.
It does.
And that's something I feel
Not just the
really
experience of
for a
having
lot of
been
the
there,
beach
but
houses
how
that
you
we've done
experience that as
in Israel,
well.
working on number 9 now.
So,
You know, I always
being in
it's funny
space
because also being in the
informs your
space
design
afterwards,
idea.
be there with them when they're
Experience
offline
with
on
the
the
space
houses,
informs that
so
idea, but
understand
how you
how to design
experience
the
that
space
space informs that
appropriately.
idea.
And it's that
For
knowledge that you
instance,
take when you move on, you put into the next one. You know, so
like
it's
how you walk into
recycling.
your living
You make
room,
assumptions as a
that or
designer,
how you
but the
want to
reality
feel when you
behind
walk into the
assumptions,
door when
how
you
people
first come
use the
home from
space is
work.
also
That
different.
is a
So
very specific thing
sometimes you
that you
make an
have to be
assumption
able
and
to
it works.
capture
Other times you make an
in
assumption
design.
and you learn from even the way people use it after that assumption is made. And then some assumptions you realize that, okay, well, that didn't really work. You don't carry it forward. So it's a constant play and a constant learning and evolving as a designer.
Yeah, design is not one
So, I mean, to be honest,
one-dimensional.
I
You're
have a
constantly,
friend
once you do one project,
who,
it informs the
when they were
next, and
saying a
then
project,
that informs the next, and it just
and he just said
goes
this
on from there.
title, Beach House Queen. I thought, oh, okay, that sounds nice. And to be honest, I had done about 4 at the time, and there's nobody on this strip that has done as many as me. So it just kind of tied in nicely because it wasn't a brag without a source. You know, yeah, I've done quite a lot. And to be honest, if we remove the hype behind it, there's a strong technicality that comes with understanding working in this
There
area.
is a strong
You have to learn to
technicality.
work with materials that will be able to stand the test of time against corrosion with salt water. You know, also the knowledge of how people
Right.
use the
Corrosion
space.
is a
So
big
it's very
deal for
exciting.
outdoor
I'm very
spaces and
happy that
beach
you have
houses.
stuff because people do
You
actually
can't just
call
put
me
everything
Beach
in
House
there.
Queen now as well. So I guess it's great. Oh wow, so Leila has been a really interesting journey, and I think it's also very important
Beautiful.
when you're good at something to stay within the realm of your understanding. I am a creative by nature, and I have stepped into another realm that is still creative, but it's not necessarily building, but it's now product design. Ileila came about from a project that I had worked on.
So Elela is her other company where she does product
And I had
design.
found that a friend of mine was using ashoke on bags, and I asked for her advice on it. And really, it started as an
I
experiment.
think she's on 54 Kibo.
The interesting thing about it is we did the first few and people really liked it because people thought, oh, this is different. People really resonated with this idea of culture. Oh, it's ashoke. Nobody thought, oh, you would use ashoke as a poetry, but also looking at strong design elements, you know, the line chairs, the unique chairs, they're very strong design pieces.
They are strong pieces.
Local Nigerian teak wood.
Simple but very strong.
And it just took off. And then also this idea of using color, the brightness, which is really a celebration of our culture. You know, Yoruba people are very flamboyant. You know, think about all those events that people go to wearing this fabric, and then just, you know, giving it another use, which still ties in with the culture and doesn't look out of place.
Yeah, I've definitely seen these on 54 Kibo.
And Ileila has done very well because of that. People are excited.
So the company name is called Ileila.
People can associate with it.
But it's beautiful.
I also worked on a really interesting design project that was sponsored by Lexus International and showcased at Design Miami in 2020. For this project, I partnered with a textile designer, Kosa Amwa, and we designed a series of conceptual masks as our response to the global pandemic. We had 3 masks, and here I've got the early iteration.
So she is just doing all kinds of the things.
This was a really interesting process all in general because we had to first of all model it as a 3D form, and then we had it 3D printed, and then after the 3D print was done, we were then able to physically test the ergonomics of the mask.
So she showed in design fashion, the Miami Design Week, creating masks.
So you have this kind of profiling. and then the stenciling sits in front, and it's a really nice kind of offset of the human profile across. It was an interesting notion of how to protect the human head.
It's beautiful.
In general,
I'm like lost. I stopped doing stuff. See, I need to keep going
this
because this
was
stuff is amazing.
modeled in
She really
Nigeria
has.
by a team and then 3D printed also in Lagos, Nigeria.
She's not just
We then
done
had
architecture, but she's
centralization done. This was done in London, and
put
this is much
herself or placed
more
herself in a
for
position
on the
where
same
she
scale
can
that you
continue to
mentioned,
expand
in
to get
Nigeria.
into other industries, which is
And this really
typical.
was
You
an
know, you'll find
opportunity
designers and
for us to
architects make
rethink the
furniture all the
concept of the
time,
mask and
but
how to look at other ways
I
of
feel like her approach to it
elevating
is
it
really
and
about
having it as an opportunity to
taking
celebrate,
what
the
she's
human
used to and the
form
forms that she
as like
likes
a
and
protection
adores and being in
material
control of the
pageantry.
entire
And what was really
experience.
interesting about this project is that it
And
was
that really
well
kind of
received
changes
by
the
the design
dynamic. It's
community.
not just to
It's been
create a
published
line, it's to
extensively,
be
and the
specific
masks
about
are
how
also
I
now
create these
traveling
things
around the
for
world.
people
We've
who
had the
like,
masks in London, we've
for
had
the
the masks
client
in
that I usually design
Johannesburg,
for.
we've had the mask in Arizona, and quite a few other
And
cities
these
that we've
masks
been
are great.
traveling around to, being worn by influencers. And it's really an opportunity to really think about our collective identity and our collective resilience as human beings. For the masks that were designed, we have three masks done with two iterations of each. The one that I've shown you here is Igaro. And then we had another mask that is Ogun. Ogun is based on a bronze color and bronze or brass color or a clear or reflective visor. And then we also had another mask that we called Pioneer Futures, which is made up of a leather collar that has an offset
Pioneer
at the
Futures.
base,
And
and then
does
it
like this
has a
neck,
helmet above.
this
This is the
high
triple
neck
over, gives you what we consider as
view. You
protection.
have to see it.
I think this is something that I kind of picked up when I was in school and it stayed with me. I think necessity is the mother of invention. I think you should always strive for
Necessity
perfection and never be
is
comfortable
the
where you find
mother
yourself.
of invention.
I think we can have situations in Nigeria where people become complacent. There's something people say of building sites to look at. And we can manage it. No, we can't manage it. You should always strive to do better. I think it's not that you can't get good things in Nigeria, but you have to.
Her philosophy is to always strive for perfection. I'm not a perfectionist, so that's not my thing, but to each his
I
own.
think it's something we need to imbibe more in this environment. And I
I
feel
get the
that
idea of not just giving
even
up
with the
because
products
it
that
looks
we do
hard
execute, that we've shown our clients that
and
we can
that
go
we
that extra
always
mile, and
move
that's going
to,
to give us a niche in our
we
market.
always strive to do
Then we
better
have
or
to
be
take
better
that.
than what we were the moment before.
We've got quite a wide breadth of work in terms of typology of scope. We've done quite a few beach houses, like I had mentioned. We've done commercial. Our biggest project, and I guess this was challenging, is Maryland Mall on Ikorodu Road.
I forgot what I did and I put it in the thing, so I had to sniff it.
Which was a really interesting job for us. Again, you can see my understanding of my play of color because the building is black, it's very striking at the time, and it really does stand out in Lagos as a landmark. We've done residential, we have the plum apartments in Oshapa, 12 2-bedroom apartments. We have the Crest, which is 5 terrace houses, which is just being finished in Oniro. What's interesting about that job is it's the first one that we've done that has a really nice skylight in the 5 terraces, which deals with this issue of creating this open courtyard that a lot of people do in Lekki and VI terrace houses. So again, always using design as creating solutions as opposed to problems. We've also done quite a lot of office retrofit work. We do a lot of offices. We've recently
She's very business, matter of fact. I don't get her personality. I get her design aesthetic, but I don't see her personality as much. Or maybe this is just her personality to be very focused and direct and,
very large breadth of work. Every project comes with
for lack of a better word,
challenges, and
rigid.
they're all
I don't like
different.
to
But again, it's
call
about
people,
creating
I don't really want to call her
solutions.
rigid. It just seems kind of closed and matter of fact. Maybe matter of fact is better.
I've also been given a lot of leeway in terms of how to approach them. So the house that we're in, Sensilo, and also Aquilina that we visited, we were given complete freedom in terms of work. For Aquilina, The client came only at the beginning and then at the end. And for Sensilo, the client came once during the constructions,
Wow.
and it's really nice to be able to be given that freedom. It's like going into a sweet shop and doing exactly what you want. So you're able to really create what you think will be the best. And it's not that it's bad input to get input from clients. Of course, it always adds to the creative flair, but when you're given freedom, it also gives you an opportunity to explore your
That
creativity and to
freedom to
grow from that
design,
creativity as
that's
well.
tough for everybody
If I had
because
another
it's
chance to walk
always
down this design journey, I would do everything the same again. I think I'm happy with the language we create.
I
I'm
mean
happy with the end products. I wouldn't change it.
every project isn't a lot for the freedom to just do what you're creatively seeing in the space. You have to,
I've
the
got
space at the
several
end of the
pairs,
day is about
and
the
in
client.
some cases the same color. Just because I think when you have something and it works, why change it? And then I love glasses. I've got 12 pairs, and it's always about pops of color.
She loves
I always tell
glasses.
people that I can't see anyway. I don't like contact lenses. Why not celebrate your disability?
Celebrate your disability with glasses. I am not I'm not mad at her because I don't like contacts either and I wear glasses.
Day in the life of Tosi. Tosi wakes up in the morning. Tosi's big on exercise. I think it's so important to start the day with a healthy body. I jog for 30 minutes and I do some stretching and yoga.
Well,
Then
this is good because now I'm
I
getting a little bit
shower
of her
and then
personality.
I'll have some breakfast and then I hit it for the day. Some days I like to separate activities. I have office days and I have site days. Office days I do all my paperwork. It could be design. It could be sorting out letters for clients or coordinating drawings in the office. Site days when I'm out on the road, going to all the sites, doing inspections and site meetings, and that's very important.
Office days and site days.
Working efficiently.
I understand. I understand, love.
Hi.
It's real out here.
How are you? Good morning. So we're at the house. I just wanted to say thank you so much as always for giving me the opportunity to work on this for you. So tell me, what do you like the most about your house? The beach house.
Okay, the fact that if I'm sitting and looking across the pool to the water, I can be anywhere in the world.
Oh, that's really nice.
She was able to call up a client at the end, and he was able to give his little 2 Ps. All right, we're gonna pause. Wait, no, not the third episode. We almost skipped. Okay, guys, that's it for now. So, my 2 cents, my conclusion, what I got from all this stuff is, first and foremost, the pieces. I shouldn't say the pieces, but the design and that she's created, the designs that she has created are amazing. Like hands down. Like they are moments to see from a distance when you're driving somewhere and you're coming down from a plane, like they are magic moments. And even though the episode was titled The Beach House Queen and they showed off her beach houses, what I really got from her wasn't the beach house thing, but really how in tune she is with who she is as a designer or who she is as an architect and who she is as a Nigerian or who her culture is. Like those two things are unquestionable in everything that she creates. And that certainty really informs what comes out when she puts these pieces together. So I really was wowed just by how wonderful the design of these things are, from her architecture to her furniture to the max that she created. She created with the partner, but all of those things really inform who she is as an architect and as a professional, and I love it. Like hands down. Like there's nothing else really for me to say except that. So I'm still going with my spices. I have a few more left that I'll finish, but For now, that's it. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content, and again, I'll put the link to the Spice Rack inside the bio. But for now, I'll see you later. Bye.